All right, so growing your business in 2024. I've had the privilege of working with over 25,000 small business owners. And one of the things we do now, like this time of year, right, around building your small business, is we start to think there's a process that I teach. And hi, my friends, how are you? I hope you're doing great, having a great day. If you're in the United States, happy Thanksgiving. Let me know if you have a small business, because one of the things that I do with all of my coaching clients right now is we start the planning for 2024. And there's a process that I like to share with you that I think will help you, not just for your business goals, but for achieving any goal. But let's talk about this. It's the process is think, plan, do, review. Let me repeat it. Think, plan, do, review. And if you have a business and you want to grow it in 2024, then you want to stick around. I'm going to give you 30 minutes of killer content of what you can do there. And let me know where you're from. Hi there, Coach Dolores Brune. Let me know where you're from. So think, plan, do, review. So the first part of achieving your business goals in 2024 is this. Do you have a clear and precise vision, for what your business will look like at the end of 2024? Do you know how much revenue you're going to generate? Do you know what programs, products, or services you are going to be offering? Do you know, exactly how many people you're going to help? Now, why am I starting you off? All right. Why am I starting off with your vision a year from now? Well, something you may not know. Let me show you something. I just needed to walk aside for a moment to get my brain. I've got two brains, my plastic one and my real one. I use this one to teach. I use this one in here to think. But inside every human's brain, there's a part of the brain that is like a GPS system. You know, when you get on an airplane and the airplane's flying across the world or across the country, it regulates where the plane is going, how fast it goes, how slow it goes, regardless of what's happening externally. Well, we have our GPS part of the brain. And when we offer our brain the clarity of the end result, where we want to be a year from now, in this case, I'm talking about the end of 2024, there are certain circuits and mechanisms that actually activate to help you figure out a path to getting there. So if you want to achieve your business goals a little bit faster, a little bit easier, why not use what I call are the neuromechanics of the human brain? Now, we have three core networks in the brain, the salience, executive, and default mode networks, but we have dozens of circuits that turn on or off all the time. So the first circuit that you want to turn on is your imagination circuit. Why? Well, would you agree that your brain is an electromagnetic switching station that allows in light, it receives energy information, but it also emits energy information? Now, if your vision is clear, the energy that is information, energies, energy in motion, information, if there isn't the coherence of the formation that you have come up with your imagination, then you're not giving out, the right frequency. All right. And the true Israeli, I don't know why you have to scream with your post. Just get rid of the big letters, okay? So does that make sense? So the first thing we want to do is create, a vision that pulls us towards it. Now, a couple of things I want to make you aware of. Most people set goals for their business based on what they think or hope they can achieve, as opposed to setting a goal based on what you would love to achieve. Now, here's a question for you. Answer me in the chat. It's 2023, right? November 21st today or whatever it is. And as I mentioned, if you're in the United States, happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Imania. Think about this. Is it true that in today's day and age, if we have a business, doesn't matter what your program, your product or service is, there's ways to build your business today. There's ways to market. There's ways to sell without being salesy. There's ways to hire people and train and manage people. There's ways to raise money. There's ways to grow a business today, right? But if you don't have those ways, then you feel insecure and you might have fear or doubt or anxiety or worry, and then you're not going to take action because you're going to lose motive for action or motivation. So first step is create a vision, and you don't have to know how to achieve it yet. I'm going to show you the steps. And for those of you that just joined, one of the things I shared earlier is a process I use with all of my clients, all right? And that is think, plan, then do, take action, and then you review to make sure that you're on target. Okay, does that make it? Think, plan, do, review. Somebody write that out and use that for your whole life. I'm going to think, I'm going to create a plan, I'm going to do, and I'm going to review. Okay, now that you create a vision for your business by the end of 2024, all right, then you have to set some goals of where are you going to be after the first 9 months of the year. Now, why do I start off with the end a year from January 1st? Well, we want to set a vision for somewhere out in the future. So then we want to work backwards from there. Hi, Brendan. We want to work backwards from 12 months to 9 months to 6 months to 3 months to 1 month from, let's say, January 1st, because now if I can get the plane off the ground in the first month and I could pick up traction and I could say, okay, by the end of 1 month, here's where I'm going to be. I don't need to have the entire process, okay, for the whole end of the year. That comes with time, okay? Does that make sense? All right, does that make sense fundamentally? Hi, Jacqueline. Think, plan, do, and then review. And you adjust just like an airplane does or a captain of a ship does. So think, plan, do, review. We want to create a vision and we want to set goals for the end of the year, 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month from, let's say, January to the end of January. Part one of what I want to teach. Now, when we do this, let me share with you, everything I do is based on behavioral neuroscience and neuropsychology. When, okay, we create the vision and then the goals for 12 months, 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, and 1 month, we're actually activating different circuits in the brain. If you think of your brain almost as if you would an orchestra or a band that you love, a music band you love, there's different parts, different members of the band playing different instruments. Our brain needs, what do you want to achieve? Our brain needs, why must you achieve it? Our brain needs, how are you going to achieve it? Our brain needs, when are you going to achieve it by? What, why, when, and how? Now, when you give your brain the what, why, when, and how, your brain actually feels calm and the fear, worry, doubt, anxiety, stress center shuts down, reduces the amount of cortisol or epinephrine or adrenaline that causes you to be anxious and causes you to be in a calm state so you can respond. So we want to learn how to respond to the stimuli, the results, versus, okay, react. Does this make sense so far? What, why, when, how? All right, think, plan, do, review. What, when, what, why, when, how? Let me know with a love or a like or a comment that this makes sense. All right. So these are just some of the fundamental basics that you must have. Thank you. It's a Mex. It's a Mex. And thank you, Brendan. And thank you for the Facebook. I'm on Instagram here and Facebook over here. So now that I got that out of the way in the first 10 or 12 minutes, if you set up what you want to achieve and you come up with a plan of how you're going to achieve it, why you must achieve it, and when you're going to achieve certain milestones, your brain calms down and you actually activate what I call as the Einstein part of the brain. When we don't have the what, why, when, and how, we're activating Frankenstein's monster up there, all right, up there, up there, all right? And Frankenstein's monster is always coming up with, why can't you do this? Okay, what could go wrong, instead of how do I make this happen and really achieve my goals? Now, let me share a couple of things with you that I think is going to make sense to you, but I'm also going to give you an invitation for something. How many of you agree that following a blueprint is the easiest way to achieve anything? Follow a blueprint. It's really, really easy. Many of you know this. Every so often I do something called the Business Breakthrough Challenge. And I teach people how to systematically grow any business from 50,000 to 100,000, 100 to 500,000, 100,000 to 500,000 to 5 million. It doesn't matter. And I teach them some techniques to use around neuromarketing and neuroselling. Now, why do I teach neuromarketing and neuroselling as opposed to just normal old school marketing? Well, since we now know the circuits of the brain, whether it's the fear circuit, the worry circuit, the pain circuit, the doubt circuit, the panic circuit, the stress circuit, the motivational circuit, okay? If you and I know, how do I activate the pay attention to me circuit? How do I activate somebody's brain so that they pay attention to me while they're scrolling through social media or they're reading a magazine online? There's an actual circuit that you could turn on. I call it like the go button. It's like, go, follow this instead of stop and don't. Would you agree that the first thing that we need to do as business owners is get people's attention? Isn't that the first thing we have to do? There's so much noise, right? There's so much noise out there. We have to get people's attention, whether it's on social media, which is free, or paid media as well. But we have to get people's attention. So here's my question for you. As a business owner, whether it's online or offline or both, all right, do you have methods to get people's attention as they're scrolling, okay, through their social media or reading online or watching stuff? Now, you have to have ways to do that. And once you get somebody's attention with the right words or the right videos, the next thing you have to do, can anybody guess what the very next thing you have to do is? And again, I'm talking about how do you activate the attention circuit in the brain, and then how do you activate this next circuit in the brain? First thing is get attention. Next, you have to keep attention, but how do you do that? What do you have to do once you have somebody's attention? Come on, have some fun with me and play along. I could talk for days on this stuff. Retain attention, yes, Zach. But before you retain attention, or while you're keeping their attention, Shannon, don't you have to build some kind of trust and rapport with them? Don't you have to give them some value so that they want to stay connected to you? And as you provide value, you could build a little bit of beginning of, oh, wow, what she's saying. Oh, wow, what he's saying. This makes sense. So I can do that with curiosity. I can do that by giving really great content. I can do that by having some fun. I can do that by being vulnerable. I can do that by sharing some really good content like I did right off the bat today. First thing you want to do is think, plan, do review. Second thing you want to do is create a vision, then goals for 12 months, 9 months, 6 months, 3 months. And here's why. So you build some, and I like what you said, Mirvi, some credits around offering value. So people go, oh, she knows what she's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. So the more we could give, okay, the easier it is for people, okay, to say, wow, I like what he or she is sharing or doing or giving. We create a bunch of content all the time. We have, books that I write that I give to people. Unlock the hidden power within you. Inner size your way to success. I always have stuff that that I'm sharing or giving away, tools, tips, books to create trust and rapport and to create an environment where I can keep people's attention. Let me know if this makes sense as the fundamental ways. I'm talking to you about some stuff that I'm teaching you right now, the basics of neuromarketing. And Facebook user is saying, right, people buy from people whom they know, like, and trust, right? Yeah. So how are you going to build, awareness so they know you, like you, and trust you before you ask them for anything? All right. So then giving value. Yes, Paul, give value. Don't be afraid of giving value in advance. And then you could say, by the way, if you would like to go deeper on this thing, here's the way to do that. And then people will go, do I want to or I don't? Let me ask you a question. Would you agree that when we are, promoting or offering our programs, products, or services, if we're too salesy, people move away from us, right? But if we are giving and invite people to step up to the next thing, then it's inclusive, right? So here's a question for you. How many of you love to buy, but you hate being sold? How many of you love to buy, but you hate being sold? I love to buy. My wife loves to buy. My kids love to buy, but we hate being sold. So ask yourself this question. Are you selling or are you inviting people? Are you selling or inviting people? So let me give you some ideas. Ask yourself this question as it relates to your program, your product, or service. What is it that you can share with people who are following you, that in your sharing, whether it's written, video, workbooks, manuals, checklists, graphs, whatever, would help them with a problem that they're facing right now? Like, what is it that you could share with people around something that is a problem that they want to solve right now, that your program, product, or service would naturally do? So can you share with them a tip, a tool, a technique, a methodology? Can you share with them something to help them understand themselves or the problem better? What is it that your program, product, or service can alleviate or eliminate from them that they no longer want? What pain are they in? So imagine if somebody has a backache and you know how to release a backache or a headache or a migraine, or they're worried about their estate. Like, what is it, okay, that you could share with them that would help them with a pain, a fear, a frustration, an irritation, a want, need, or aspiration? Those are 8 things. Like, what is it? Hey, Max, nice to see you here. What is it that you can give in advance? Now, why do we start there? Well, answer this question. Do we humans do more to avoid pain and discomfort, or do we do more to gain pleasure? Which one do we do? Do we do more to avoid pain and discomfort, or do we do more to gain pleasure? Which one do we do first? Thank you for the answers. No, Stravos, we do more to avoid pain or discomfort. We do more to avoid any pain or discomfort, whether it's real or imagined. So if you have a solution, right? If you have a solution to a pain, a fear, a frustration, an irritation, then help people solve that. and then show them the gain afterwards, right? Neurologically, biologically, we are wired to avoid pain before we gain pleasure. All right, so here's my question for you. If our job, as I mentioned before, the number one job is to get attention, you can create headlines, you can create videos, you can create content that helps people move away from what it is that they no longer want. And it could be a spiritual pain, emotional, mental, physical, financial, right? It could be any one of those things. If somebody wants to move away from something, help them understand how to do that. If somebody wants to move towards something, like, I titled this one, How to Achieve Your Goals in 2024. Why did I choose a title that's aspirational today for today's session instead of, you didn't achieve your goals in 2023? Find out why. The reason I chose an aspirational title for today was because we're at the end of the year and many of us are already looking at 2024 and how do we make 2024 our best year ever in life or business. So psychologically, there are certain times you use pain and certain times that you use move towards frames, we call them. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So ask yourself this question. Your buyers or prospects, what are they trying to move away from? What are they trying to move towards? Right? What are they trying to move away from? What are they trying to move towards? How can you help them with your program, product, or service? All right. So may I share with you a little bit about the upcoming Business Breakthrough Challenge? I'm going to invite you to the Business Breakthrough Challenge. It starts on November the 30th. This will be my final one for the year. I've helped over 25,000 business owners with this in the last several years. It is the most powerful training you will ever get on growing your business. On day one, it's about 2 hours a day for general admission and about 4 hours a day for VIP. On day one, I'm going to teach you how to unleash the power of neuromarketing and neuroselling so you get attention, keep attention, and build trust and rapport so people will want to buy from you instead of your competition. Number two, I'm going to show you how to develop the right avatars or buyer profiles and how to create irresistible offers so they buy from you faster. Day number three, I'm going to focus on how to use artificial intelligence to cut out all your annoying tasks and stress, okay, of creating marketing and everything that you need in order to do content marketing or ad marketing or website copy in minutes instead of days or weeks. On day four, I will teach you the $5 billion neuroselling system. I've got over 20,000 success stories of business owners that are using this all over the world in every type of business, whether you're a lawyer, a coach, doesn't matter. It works for everybody. That's on day number four. And then on day number five, I'm going to be showing you, okay, how to win the inner game, how to get out of your own way once and for all, get rid of your fears, your limiting beliefs, your self-image issues, and anything that's holding you back. Now, when you take the process of developed over 40 years and taught it to over 25,000 business owners now, you'll be able to at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 10x your business revenues in 2024. Now, I want to be very upfront with you. There's two different things that you can sign up for. One is the Business Breakthrough Challenge, which is general admission. For the 5 days, it's $47. That's less than $10 a day to work with me for at least 10 hours. 10 hours over 5 days. There might be a couple of extra bonus days, just saying. There will be bonuses throughout. You also have a VIP opportunity, okay, that you can add to work with me for 2 extra hours a day in a group fashion to answer all the questions. And that's $97 more. So it's $47 for general admission, $144 for VIP. And you will get at least 20 to 30 hours of training with me in the VIP. for less than a good lunch with me somewhere. We'll put the link up in my bio. If you want to join, I invite you to join. If you don't, that's okay too. We usually will have, we will usually sell this out by next week as well. So that's in the bio. You can find the Business Breakthrough Challenge, and we'll put a link up on Facebook. Now, when we're talking about scaling a business, it is online and it will be live. Yes, great question. It is on live, and it is live. And somebody asked, do the general admissions include the recordings? Yes, we record everything in case you miss it. The general admission will get access to all the recordings for 30 days after the event is closed. And for those of you that are in VIP, you get all the recordings, the transcripts, all the bonuses for life. Okay, so just take a look at the page. Thanks for asking that question. Now, before we wrap up, I want to give you one other thing I want you to be aware of. Look, way to go, Paul. I look forward to seeing you. If you don't have a business, you can join, but just remember, it's for business owners or people who are serious about starting a business. Now, I want you to remember one thing here. To grow a business, you really need to figure out a couple things, right? Number one, how am I going to brand my business or my program, product, or service? You got to understand branding a little bit. Number two, how am I going to create a system to get a regular flow of leads, right? A business cannot survive without prospects, agree? We'll be covering that, and I'll show you 20 different ways to get leads over and over and over again. But then it's just not leads. It's how do I qualify them to make sure that they can afford what I have and that they really want it. I'll show you a formula for that. Then for those who buy, great. But for those who don't, can I nurture them in an automated way so that I stay in touch with them, so that when they're ready to buy or they're ready to refer somebody to me, there's a system in place for that? The answer is yes. Every business that survives and scales, and 92% of businesses do not survive past 5 years, creates systems for predictability, persistence for predictability, and to be able to scale. So I will show you all of those so that if you're at 100,000, you can go to 500,000, a million, 5 million, 10 million, 100 million. Is going to be based on people, your product or service, and your processes and systems. So we're going to be covering all of that in the 5-day Business Breakthrough Challenge. So you're going to learn unleashing the power of neuromarketing and neurosales. You're going to learn how to create specific avatars and specific offers for them. You're going to learn how to use artificial intelligence. That alone will be worth the whole price of admission. You're going to learn an entire system from A to Z, from lead generation to lead conversion to lead nurturing. And then the last day, we're going to work on helping you unlock your brain's hidden power and win the inner game of business. So that's what that's going to be all about. So today we've covered think, plan, do, review. We've covered start off with a vision, then goals for 12 months, 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, and you create the plan. We covered your brain needs, what I'm going to achieve, why I must achieve it, when I'm going to achieve it by, and how. When you give your brain those 4 things, you light up the different circuits in your brain that activate the reward system in the brain and says, go. If you don't have a vision, if you don't have goals, if you don't have why, if you don't have how, if you don't have when, you're working against yourself. So I'm going to show you how to put it all together so that you have a clear, smooth path to achieve your goals and dreams. And like I always like to say, faster and easier than ever before. All right. Listen, if you enjoyed this, join the challenge. Bio will have the link. On Facebook, we put the link. But if you enjoyed this, share this with your friends after I post it onto the social media platform you're on. So I've gone for about 30 minutes, as I said I would. Hopefully you got a lot of great ideas today and some good skills to apply, and infinite gratitude to you, to my friends in the US. Happy Thanksgiving from my family to yours. I hope you enjoy a happy, healthy Thanksgiving if you're in the United States. If not, just sending you lots of love. How's that? We all need lots of love right now. And let's make 2024 your best year ever. I'm making 2024 my best year ever. And I've had some pretty great years. All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone.